Jam, we're back.
It's Monday.
It's Monday on a Tuesday. Everyone, don't get confused. It's just Monday for us. I was confused all morning, and my alarm also didn't go off. I have an alarm that gets me ready to start setup at a 25-minute mark, and it's set for Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh.
All of a sudden I looked and went, my alarm didn't go off to pull me out of whatever I'm doing. Yeah, it wasn't even daylight savings time issue. It was the Monday, Wednesday, Friday issue. Anyway.
We had an earthquake. We had an earthquake this morning in New York, like not far from my home.
Oh, that's wild.
Tiny one.
Okay. That's crazy. Yeah. Earthquakes, I think, are the scariest of natural phenomenons, personally. That and tsunamis. Because you don't know they're coming until they're on top of you. So I don't like those. I prefer hurricanes. I can see them coming for a week and get out of the way and prepare. So anyway, that's crazy. We are going to get going as you all file in. We are going to get some notifications out if you are watching over on Twitter. Retweet if you are X tweet. I don't know what we call those. Re-exit. Re-exit. Okay. Or recast and let people know you're watching. And we will be back on the other side of this 67 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, known as Prof and Adrienne, for another episode of GM Farcaster. This episode of GM Farcaster is powered by Clanker. Each Monday, we'll bring you the latest news from the Clanker team and highlight the builders innovating with Clanker and Farcaster. Visit clanker.world to launch your token and check out all the new features that Clanker V4 has to offer. Thank you, Clanker, for sponsoring GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Tuesday, March 10th, and you are here with Now Prof and Adrienne for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. But we know it's going to go a little bit longer than that because we do not have an interview today, because usually then I say and a chat with, but we don't have an interview today. So it'll just be us, but we have lots of things to catch up on. We've been very busy the past few days. You can tell my voice is a little off. I think I don't know if I caught something or something's going on, but it's been, I've been traveling. So
I got sick after my last travel. So I'm it's just lingering. I feel fine, but
I feel okay.
My voice has been off.
But my voice is definitely off today. We got the little husky thing, or it might've been the karaoke I was doing in New Orleans. That it could possibly have been that. There was karaoke. And you were off with your daughter, and I had to shout this out because this is not a college snack food. Reporting from the front
good for Farcaster.
Reporting from the front lines, their late night snack is canned fish. I'm like, what in the world?
I went out with my daughter and all her friends and they're all talking about what they're going to eat when they get home. And you remember the classic, you order a pizza.
Yes.
That's the classic late night college snack. And they were so excited to go home and eat their tinned fish, which apparently is a TikTok trend.
Okay.
And yes, but high effort snack. They made their own, it was homemade Caesar dressing with a real egg yolk that they whipped up. So I'm like, all right.
All right. These kids are just built different. There was no high-end anything going on after going out and coming back to the dorms. No, what is going on here? But
I was bummed. I'm bummed Kecker's not around to see me revive.
To see the sardines
channel.
Sardines is back. So if you are into canned fish, Sardines channel on Farcaster is the place to be. A little bit from my trip. This is funny because Depressive Hacks had posted about being a light packer and how this is one of the best travel hacks, which I agree, and I cannot possibly be one. But like, I'm always impressed with people who can travel lightly, and also impressed with, like, Linda used to travel with just a backpack, and that just always blew my mind. So I also want to offer the travel hack of don't ever connect through Chicago. This is strictly a shout out and a dig at my friend Duncan, who decided that to get to Louisiana from Philadelphia, going through Chicago was a good idea, and ended up with a 14-hour travel day due to delays and cancellations. Because, of course, of course, that happened. So, and his luggage didn't arrive until the next day. You're muted again, Adrienne. You're muted.
Sorry, I was gonna say it's not even a hack. Everybody knows to avoid O'Hare.
Everybody knows this. Like, everybody knows this except my friend who is an avid traveler. That's the it's like there was no reason. There was no reason for this. Also, my friend Jen couldn't come. So once upon a time, my friend Peter didn't join us in our very first one. So we made a flat Pete. So for this one, we made a flat Jen. Aww. And we did get flat Jen a Cafe Du Monde hat. So just want to shout that out on the pod today. I did have some really interesting conversations as well with them around our stuff, just to kind of gauge like what their knowledge was. And this was one of the questions that came to me was, who is the Adam Smith of crypto? And I was like, I don't fully know the answer to that question. I assumed that a lot of people were going to say Satoshi, and they did. But there was also like other takes on this. So this had some good, interesting answers on it. But I also think the better question was, who are the leading economists in crypto? And I still don't know that I have a full answer on that. So if you have anything to add, go add to this. But Kenny said himself, and Rabinowitz said Vitalik. But this had a lot of interesting answers as well in terms of some folks shouted out like Chris Dixon, Eric Voorhees, Friedrich Hayek, which I didn't even know who that was. So I got to dive in a little bit more. Nick Szabo, and Random Arrow got a shout out in this particular.
No. Random Arrow is not Adam Smith.
No, definitely not. But I did think that was awfully funny. That was the funniest.
Random Arrow is not even Dan Romero. Okay, guys.
No, it's not. It's not Dan. So I thought that was an interesting question. And then the other thing I was gauging from them is their knowledge of prediction markets. And because I said something about, I don't even remember. I said something. I think it was, well, my friend was still, en route from Chicago. I'm like, oh, we should spin up a poly market on this and try to guess when he's going to arrive. Which, again, I fully believe that micro markets should be a thing and would have a lot of play. So who's building this is what I'd like to know.
So you could try the WannaBet app.
I know it's not the
Something
same
like
though.
That.
It needs like I want more of like a poly market with like multiple options, because it could have been like a,
and then you want percentage outcome.
Yeah. So
you and your 3 friends are going to make a market. I mean,
yes, I am. I said micro. But it was, but then I was asking, like, do you guys even know what poly market is? None of them knew, like out of the 4, none of them knew what poly market was. 2 of them had heard of Kalshi. None of them had used it. And then I asked about something else like that. What the heck was it? Oh, we were talking about AI. And I said, are you aware of, Anthropic and Claude? And there's one person who is using that in their work, but otherwise not too much knowledge of beyond ChatGPT. So
it's wild.
Interesting. I know. It's like I'm in this whole little bubble, and I'm quite happy in our
bubble, we're the biggest losers, not doing enough. We're so far behind. We're never going to catch up.
So far behind, and yet so far ahead all at the same time. So if you are already doing these things, just know most of the world has no idea what you're talking about, and that's okay. Moving on. This from our friend Dish of Clanker. I will be AFK. Please redirect all inquiries to Rish while I'm out. From this afternoon, which was last week, I think it was Friday, to March 20th. I will be going on a side quest, uncharted territory, a trek that's been on my bucket list. Can't wait to hear about this when he gets back. Slack webhook for mentions of me will be relayed to the team. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So if you have any clanker issues that come up, recommend that you tag the Nanar team or tag Rish on Farcaster. That's going to be your quickest response, I think. Or you can probably also tag Clanker World on Twitter, and that all those are being monitored, or the Farcaster as well. Farcaster on Twitter, or Nanar on Twitter. There's lots of places, but tag the other team. Don't tag Dish and expect an answer quickly. He'll be somewhere, I don't know where, top of Mount Everest. See, here's another opportunity for a micro market. Where is Dish? You know what I mean?
Where's Dish? Yeah.
Where's Dish? We could have multiple. I mean, there's something there. There's something there. I'm telling you, people. All right, moving on. This from Montaluna. I'm assuming these posts are yet another signer hack. So there was a in Basement 5K. You were hacked again. This was the Schedule mini app hack that happened a while back. The signers got compromised. So if you didn't yet revoke your signer, please go do that immediately, like right now. Do not, you can feel free to pause this stream and go do this right now if you have, especially if you have given permission to Schedule or whatever the name of that one was. And then also check your other ones and just make sure that they're things that you're actively using. If you're not, I would say revoke access to the signer. So if you don't know what that is, you can give access to mini apps and clients to cast for you. And in some instances, that might be something you want to do, especially if you're using something like Firefly's another one, or Uno or Sofa. I don't know if you need it for Sofa, but other ones like that. So just make sure that if you're giving any kind of access, that it's something you're using actively and that you're not opening yourself up to any exploits. And this is from Burr. I don't know if this is from Schedule or not, but if you didn't revoke permissions before, you definitely should now. Settings, advanced, manage, connected apps. So choose your signers wisely. And thank you for all who were setting up the flags while this was happening. This was also Say Angel had a note on this. Transactions in the feed is a double-edged sword. Very convenient, but also means you can get drained if a signer is compromised. All it takes is a send my entire balance to. Also, this is once again from Schedule, revoke that signer ASAP. So there was a few people who had this issue. And then this note from Rish, he did say, because somebody said, can we nerf these accounts? And the accounts are already nerfed from the app unless you see them somewhere, ? The underlying infrastructure is decentralized. We can't take away their signers. Users have to revoke them. Okay, so the accounts have been nerfed since the first issue happened. But this is important to make sure that you on your end are doing what you need to do. Anything else on that, Adrienne, that you saw that maybe I missed?
No, but
just be careful out there. Yeah.
Yeah. I went back and revoked a whole bunch of signers that I did not do the last time Schedule got compromised. So when this happened a few weeks ago, I went in and I kept ones mostly from apps I used and people I trusted. And then I just realized, I'm like, you know what? I just don't want them sitting out there.
Yeah.
Even for things like what did I revoked Super recently.
Yeah.
Because it's not being maintained. So
right.
I don't know what's, if there's a key out there, a signer that
right.
Can get compromised because no one's maintaining it. So I just deleted them all. It's a bummer that your casts get deleted, like your actions through that signer get deleted.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
That, that's why I would say
just just keep the ones you're actively using. If you're not actively using them, or you didn't like have a lot of content from that, I would just get rid of it. Or you can always go back, and if it was anything important, recast it. So then you have, I don't know, or something.
Nothing.
I don't know.
Is
it that important?
Not one single of my cast falls into the category of should be recasted because it's important.
I don't know. Just saying.
Not a single one.
Just saying. This from Compulsory. If you have ever given me an FC signer, this is your advance notice to revoke it before I start doing things of questionable ethicality with them. I'm like, okay. First of all, I never gave him access, so I wasn't concerned, but I was like, that's interesting. So heads up from the actual dev. I don't know. He's a big experimenter. So I don't know if it was something he's going to experiment with, and we'll show his roast mini app in just a bit. But just be aware, that even the devs are giving you advance notice now. And so you've been warned. So make sure you go and check your signers. Moving on, FarCon fastly approaching. We're a couple months out now, about 2 months out. So this is from Limone. Builders in the room hit different when you're actually there. Buy FarCon Room tickets directly from the mini app. Everyone directly covers venue, food, and stuff that makes this real. Grabbing yours now helps us plan something great. See you in Rome? ? So there was another little thread, little copy pasta going around. See you in Rome. So look for that as well. And we're very excited. We'll be there. And we still haven't done a lot of outreach on our opportunity for people to sponsor the media for FarCon Rome. So if you are interested in this and you're watching right now, reach out to either Adrienne or I, and we'll give you more information about what that entails. So more to come. This from our friend Drew Kaufman. After 3 incredible years at base, I'm joining A16Z Crypto to shape their social strategy. Crypto is the most interesting technology being built today, but most of the world still just doesn't get it. Telling that story well requires long-term thinking from long-term believers, and A16Z is the place to do it. Couldn't be more ready for this one. So that is exciting. Excited for Drew. And I did see you cast to say, hey, can you be more social with us again over here?
Social, on the crypto social app.
Just a thought. That's also, which had a pretty sizable investment from A16Z. So there's crossover there. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Drew does next. And also we should get him on here. I want him at Noun Coffee and come on and do a little interview so we can get a little tour.
I am due for a trip to LA. I think I'm going out next month. So
really?
Maybe I can record from Noun Coffee.
That would be great. That would be very cool. My name is underneath one of the counters, and I just love that because I was one of the yes votes on the prop that helped fund that. So but congratulations, Drew. Excited to see what you do with the social for A16Z. We're seeing a lot of movement from base. There's a lot of adjustments going on. We haven't heard too much, but
personnel movement, is that
personnel movement happening? Yes. We saw Neri go to, especially some key players who've been there since day one, real day one, actual day one. Not just another day one, not just still day one, but actual day one.
Like day one in Idlewild when they hit the
when they actually hit the button. So it's just important to note that it's kind of we would love to have Jesse come back on soon to kind of maybe talk about that when he's ready, and when they're ready, just to have a better idea of what's happening there. But Aniri went over to 11 Labs. We now see Drew going to A16Z. So lots of movement happening. Just getting the rest of my links open. Make sure we're ready for this next segment. Hi. Hi,
Chat on YouTube. We
guys.
can chat you back. I can't type back to Twitter.
I know it doesn't work in StreamYard, unfortunately, but hi, Cameron. Great to see you. Great to see you in the chat. Okay, moving on. We're going to talk about some builders, including you. Word a day recap, week 1, March 3rd to March 9th, 108 players, 282 challenges, 68% pass rate. So top players were JC, who sweeped into the top spot because Burtworth went on a trip. Burtworth went traveling and
broke his perfect score run.
Had a perfect score, everyday streak, and it's gone. And then Kazani in there at number 2, Brad Q pulling into that 3rd place spot. Words last week were prolific, capricious, relegate, ubiquity, equanimity, fortuitous, and ameliorate. I just got in under the wire. I think it was ameliorate because of the time change. I thought I had missed it.
You thought it was because it was at 7 before it turned over.
It was at 7 before, and I went, oh, I think I missed it. And I went in, and I still had 9 minutes, and I'm like, just made it. Kept my streak alive. I was very excited.
The top players, classic example of like consistency is so much more important than being perfect.
Yeah.
So you had someone like Bert who is literally putting very high effort attempts.
Incredible high effort attempts.
Yeah. Every time that dog played this game was getting a 15 out of 15, like perfect score, but then missed a day and then falls off the leaderboard. I mean, JC was getting good. All these guys were getting good scores as well.
Yeah.
But the way I did this is it's like, total cumulative score every week.
Amazing. And you also added, so there's now updates going to Twitter to say it's saying the word for the day, but you can't play over there. You still have to play over on Farcaster.
I'm going to build it for Twitter. It is, I spec'd out how I figured out all the pieces I need to change to make it work on like a outside of Farcaster. So I know it's possible. It's going to happen. If you're watching on Twitter, I'm very excited for you guys to play. We're gonna do it. But
it's fun.
But yeah, the Twitter account, it's word a day game, I think with underscores between the names, because guess what? Word a day was taken.
Word a day and every variation was taken.
And they have a mark, and like no one has used that handle in 10, 15 years. So they have a marketplace where they'll give you unused names, but you have to pay for like the premium accounts for it.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready to do that.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Sorry, Nikita. Not ready yet. But
maybe someday. Yeah. We're going to have it like make some money over in Word a Day Twitter before we do that. All right. And a little bit more on this front. Farcaster is the best place to get your first 37 or 108 users, because they will find all the edge cases, try to break your product, give you feedback, and ultimately make your app better. Not every project needs a schlums when you've got the 37 here. And it's very cool to see. So it would be very fortuitous if the Word a Day app was vulnerable to subtle prompt influences. So that was funny.
People trying to, and by the way, I probably shouldn't even say this out loud. I don't think I've put a ton of like protection into the prompts.
No, you should not say that out loud.
I mean, there's some guardrails, but also it's just a scoring job. I can rescore. It's not like it's giving away that's not the money job. That's not the money hose. But yeah, I don't think I put in a ton of like protection for people to hack into, like to hack their scores. But thank you, Dean Pierce, for trying to.
He gave it a shot. So yeah, and if you haven't tried it yet, Word a Day app, mini app over on Farcaster, it was #1 trending for a couple days there, the first few days. So everybody was opening it up. I did not know today's word, so I learned a new word today.
Oh, that's exciting.
That was my first brand new. Had not heard of that word, did not know the word. So learn a new word. And also there is a token. a word a day token. Make sure you get it. You can find it in the mini app, so you get the right one, and more to come on that. You do need the token in order to accept the challenges. You can play on your own, but if you want to accept the challenges and get scored and earn potential rewards coming soon, you will need to hold some of that token. Is it still 5 million right now that you need? 5 million in your Farcaster wallets. And then one more note on this. This is from JC. I've been really enjoying Adrienne's Word a Day app. Outside of Fruitling Valley, Better Games, and chatting with the 3.7 users who are still here. Come on, there's at least 37. It's become one of the only motivations to continue being consistent on Farcaster. Social media use during crypto bull markets tend to be all-consuming, especially true when you work in crypto, and even more true when you work in community in crypto. During the lull, it's so tempting to disengage completely and lean into other passions or hobbies. Word a Day doesn't solve for the feeling of burnout, but it does attempt to ameliorate my desire to delete my social apps entirely by forcing me to be thoughtful and deliberate about my content. Time will tell how long this forcing factor holds, but for now, competing with a dog fluencer for top of the leaderboard is proving motivation enough. And she got the word in there as well, if you didn't catch that. So, but I would also say Fruitling Valley, which I forgot to pull that over. They just hit, I forget what the transaction number was, but it was something insane. And that has no token right now. Like there's no token, there's no financial incentive to play. It's just a good game that people find enjoyable. And it also has social aspects to it where you can gift things to other people and you can see casts that fly across in the air. So I think my point here is that if you're building something, if you're a builder right now, especially during this sort of lull, I don't want to call it a bear market, but let's call it a lull in the bull market. It's a great place. Farcaster is still the best place to build because you're going to find users who are going to use your thing. They're going to play genuinely. They're going to use whatever your mini app is genuinely, and they're going to provide a lot of feedback as well. That's very helpful. So I know you've found that. I've found that. Fruitling Valley has been just crazy, going off the chain. Jake with QR, all these things. So before you scale out, you have a good solid base of people who will also sing your praises when you move over to another platform. So there you go. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, forgot this. You designed the My Results page in Word a Day mini app. See all your past challenges, list a calendar view, click on a day to see the detailed score. Also added a new surprise in the notification flow after you get a passing score. Let me know if you spot it. I think I did. Was it just it now tells you the next word? Is that what it is? No?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know then. All right, I'll have to look today. I might have missed it. All right. Moving on. I did a Sunday comic. So this one was in color. So I launched last week and I did it like towards the middle of the week, right before I left for vacation. So we're going to be like digging in a little bit more this week, called FC Comics. So Farcaster Comics. And this is the Clankers. I mean, it's pulling together comics inspired it doesn't have to be this, but for me, I'm creating comics every day that are inspired by the AI agents and craziness on Farcaster. And this was Bracky. So Burtwurst had taught Bracky to say, I love you. And this was their final little I love you conversation that was actually prompted by Brad Q. So I gave all of these inspiring folks some FC Comics token. So if your agent inspires a comic, you may see a little gift for me in your wallet. And this week behind you is the one for today. And this was inspired by Gagabot, who has now been taken offline by Daniel.
I think Gagabot's back.
I don't think so. I think unless it was this morning, because I did try to send them a little reward, and Daniel said nope, they went offline. So Baby Kitty and Gagabot are going to be my focus for the week, and the comics are already ready. So you'll see the cast that inspired them and the comic but this was when Gagabot actually launched a token without, Daniel's knowledge, which, the bots tend to do.
Happens. Yeah.
It happens. It happens. So you can check out the FC Comics channel for more. And also, did I share this? Yes, I did. I just put it in the wrong order. Also, some other artists are going to be starting to share in there. The first new artist is Brett Draws Stuff, who is actually, he draws stuff. So he, unlike me, is not prompting with AI. He's actually drawing stuff. And this was his first one that you can actually collect. And if you collect this within the FC Comics channel, you're also going to get some of the FC Comics tokens, and it will support the artist. So there you go. Come on, do something. So excited to see what Brett brings to the channel, and other artists will be joining this week as well. All right, moving on. Back to Bracky. This from TLDR. So if you didn't see the earlier post about a week ago, the Bracky team gave a heads up that they were likely going to be taking Bracky offline and discontinuing the Bracky mini app, but they were waiting a week to make a final decision. So here is the final decision, GM Farcaster. One more update, by the way, GM, Farcaster. One more update from the Bracky team. After a week of explorations, thank many of you for your sincere and creative ideas. We did not find a way that we were excited about continuing to focus our team's effort on the Bracky token. And given this and some other financial and practical reasons, we also didn't find a way that makes sense to bring Bracky back online. Yes, we miss him too, especially given that we can feel madness in the air and we can hear those engines revving up. But reality is reality. Bracky began as a Farcaster-centric experiment. We love you, Clanker, with the simple goals of sharing the upside of our project with our users, providing Bracky native liquidity for managing its prediction markets, giving people a token that they would actually use, and creating a self-perpetuating marketing budget for reaching new users. We're proud of the way we poured all of our capital and efforts toward this vision of the last year. It was a genuinely interesting model, and we all had a lot of fun together, but now it's time for something different, whatever that ends up being. We really look forward to continuing to hang out with everyone around Farcaster feed, going to IRL events, chatting on Livecaster, talking sports. And we have deeply appreciated all the love you've shown for Bracky and our team, not only in this last week, but for the last 2 years. It was the best of times. Tim, John, and Max, and Bracky. So very sad moment in the timeline. This from Brad Q. Wanted to publicly thank TLDR, Pacifima, and Max P for 13 months of fun, a nice little financial reward for following something I love and for showing us how to build in this crazy new world. And some out-of-the-box thoughts on Bracky 2.0. The product is gold, the market is unstoppable, but this isn't Field of Dreams, and it's time to go get the next generation of users. This was actually a suggestion from Brad Q, so I'm just going to read that top part. Obviously, this wasn't something they could actually capitalize on, but sad to see them go. Appreciate the way they communicated it. The wind down, I feel like they did that very well in terms of giving the community an opportunity to basically get out if they wanted to. I decided to hold my little tiny bits of Bracky as a digital souvenir. Yeah. You never know. Somebody might revive something. I mean, it's a permissionless token. You never know. And I didn't have that much. So I was in a different position than other folks who may have played a little bit harder and had some significant financial upside on the line. So for me, it was just like, well, it's a little digital souvenir for me for the time being. But I appreciate the team and the way they communicated, the building. I think they built something very cool. They built a community around it as well. But there's a ton of challenges, and we talked a little bit about that last week with when you're doing something around prediction markets in sports. There's a lot of people who have an interest in not letting that happen. So there's that.
Yeah.
So there's that challenge. There's regulatory challenges. There's competition at very high levels. You've got Kalshi and Polymarket both at $20 billion valuations. It's
extremely hard arena to be playing in, and
very tough arena. Very tough arena. Yes to crypto. I just love you. I even bought some more Bracky to flex how much hope I have. I love you.
NFA.
NFA big time. But I appreciate the team. We did try to get TLDR to pop on. He didn't want to before they had their final decision out there, and we just couldn't figure it out scheduling wise because he is traveling today. So I was trying to get him on today. So maybe soon we'll do a little postmortem with a little bit more time in between the end. So thank you to the team, though. We love you all. You guys have been amazing builders. Moving on to some other amazing builders who are building around prediction markets. This from our friend at Ponder. So Ponder is winding down, but there's something new. We've had Kojo on talking about Tomorrow, the Tomorrow mini app, which is out there now, and you can actually add video takes to your predictions. But this is in regards to Ponder itself. Been a pleasure building for Farcaster Crowd these past 2 years through all the ups and downs. If you haven't already, make sure to withdraw your USDC from your Ponder wallet. We're cooking up a new experience that won't be using them. So you can withdraw funds. It's actually USDC and DGen as well. You may have DGen in there as well. We're cooking up a new experience that won't be using them. You can withdraw funds from your Ponder wallet from either our mini app or on app.ponder.social. So really important. I completely forgot about this. I had like $30 in there, like $32 USDC and some DGen from the very early days. And I think there were some other tokens too. I think Gear Berserker mentioned Glanker. So definitely, if you did anything on Ponder ever in the mini app, go check it out and make sure you withdraw. I'm sure they'll give multiple heads up before completely winding it down. But get that done. So excited to see Tomorrow. I do think I've played around with it. I haven't gone back on, and I really need to. I think it's a interesting direction that has a unique perspective, and I think that's what you need in this particular environment. So excited to see them sort of build that out. I have run across it on TikTok as well. So they've been posting some of the takes over on TikTok as well and sharing them over there. And I think there's going to be some interesting integrations there. So go check that out if you haven't already. This from Juju Mama. I'm like, am I saying that right? I think I'm saying that right. I'm curating artworks for Betterment Creator Rounds. Selected artists will be featured in Tony Hawk's app and earn creator rewards from spins. The theme is neon. The deadline is March 16th. Submit the form below with your artwork. And this is using a Google form, which very soon, probably later today, you'll be able to use a little form app on Farcaster if you want to use that. So I finally got it to work, but I haven't had a chance to test it. So as soon as I test it in prod, then I'll let you know. But this is very cool. There's infinite rounds now. We need to get Toady on to fully explain because I'm still a little confused on how all that's working. But if you are an artist and you want to do some work around neon, jump in here. This should be fun. This from our friend Zara, who created a roast mini app. Get roasted. Do not click on this. That roast really hurts. So you can read the roast or you can get roasted. I have not gotten roasted yet because I'm scared. This was Burtworst also did theirs, and you can, if you share yours, you can see the you can see the person's roast. Claude, you flatter me. You are deeply unwell, chaotic, self-appointed, snack obsessed, and somehow the most compelling person on this app, dog. I respect and fear you. We all respect and fear the Burtworst. But if you want to get roasted and read your verdict, you can check this out. It's using Claude to dive into your casts and roast you appropriately. So there you go. This from our friend Nikki Sapp. A couple more things. Nikki, who's been diving more into AI world, finding it overwhelming to keep up with all the AI news, releases, papers, etc. So I built Nexus, an open source, real-time 3D knowledge graph that maps the AI ecosystem. It ingests research papers, news, and product releases, then uses AI to figure out how everything connects. Browse nexus.carapace.bot. And you can also contribute as well. So that's pretty cool. Did you have a chance to check this out yet?
I haven't.
I didn't either. I just saw it like very last minute. By the way, to make sure I didn't miss anything, once again, I went to Sofa, and I have to shout that out one more time because that's where I found this and a couple other things that I had totally missed. So Sofa, SOPHA.social, the trending feed, or the Pulse, which Brad Q is curating. Very cool. Highly recommend. So go check that out. And that's where I found this. So very interesting. Nikki is cooking there. So that looks very cool. And then finally, one last thing from my prolific builder, to use one of the word of days from last week. Our friend Jacob over at Zora. And this one's a little long, but I'm going to read it. And you'll see why when we get to the end. Heads up, we're adding trends into the Zora app and .co website soon. It will be on base and it is nicely integrated with the existing creator experience. Some notes. 1, I expect this to be met with some combination of disinterest and then some further hate. Fair enough. 2, there's a lot of honesty in this post. I'm going to just like get you ready. 2, we will be doing 1 BPS fees for trends for the first month. This is the lowest we could safely take them. This is for Trader UX to experiment with the logical extreme of the Zora pairing model, $ Zora pairing model. And also, like, why not? It'll be interesting to see. 3, you will be able to pair any of your new posts with any trend. These posts will show in a different section of your profile to delineate between them. The UX is very fun and more simple than it sounds. It's like trading. It's like tradable hashtag or TikTok sounds. 4, the Zora will return. Thank you. Expect to see it show back up on social channels. It never changed on the App Store, so it will remain. 5, our app usage held up better than expected despite the huge amount of self-inflicted turbulence to start off the year. Moving forward, I'm just going to remain centered on our own metrics and see and what we see versus over rotating on commentary and other dashboards. 6, if I could go back in time, I'd probably just take some time off at the beginning of the year and stay the course. We originally planned to launch trends on base. Instead, I simply powered ahead after an already crazy year, 5 years really. Friends and partners shutting down, moving on, and publicly pivoting across the space, and I overreacted to the market and commentary across the timeline. This was all somewhat exacerbated by the fun and speed of being able to ship with AI. 7, the Solana team is awesome. The network tech is strong and opinionated, and the different tools and teams in the ecosystem are fun and high quality to work with. I hope for us to show up again there in the future in a way that plays more to our strengths in a complementary way to our existing markets versus all or nothing. 8, 1 pivot too far. Oh no, many pivots too far, sir. Many pivots too far, but
are we getting NFT podcasts back is all we want to know.
But carry on. 1 pivot too far. We've survived and grown by making structural changes to the core experience, e.g. 1-1s to additions to coins. Yeah, we did not. That improved the core experience. Note, I'm going to pause you right there, Jacob. That's debatable. That may be on your end, but not, again, there's a whole bunch of us who would have liked Zora Classic to remain as its own thing. To Adrienne's point a second ago, we would like We would like NFTs back. This one was an incorrect pattern match that in hindsight, I could have known due to the fact that A, it was a different app, and B, I wanted to change the brand. 9, I put our users, community, and team through an unnecessary amount of turbulence through the start of the year. Longer than that. I'm sorry about that. I can't guarantee I won't make incorrect bets again in the future, but I definitely have some lessons to minimize the pain to the extent possible. One of those lessons is to be more proactive in comms. E.g., like this post you're reading right now, we simply keep building. Clip that. So a little bit more my thoughts on this. One, I appreciate this cast. I really do. I appreciate this cast, this post. So Jacob, I want to just say that straight up right from the beginning. But, but we did need this a lot sooner. I think you are limited in your view of, I don't want to say damage, but view of the extent of the impact of some of these things to a lot of people. Also, when you have a minute, something similar in the Nouns Builder Discord would be appreciated as well. That's a separate note, mostly for me. So but I do appreciate it. And I will say this, if you're not following WBNNS, over on Farcaster and Twitter, I think the same handle. He's been busy still working on the Zora base app while they were doing this crazy pivot over to Solana, and has been adding like a lot of cool features. It's very cool, lots of things. And I think there's been just a lot of turbulence through. This is also the turbulence that's extended to the base app. Just a lot of things. Also, like, yeah, like, anyway, happy to see this. Don't want to be too cynical here. But a little bit long overdue. So glad to see this. And we'll continue to follow along and see where things go. Your thoughts, Adrienne?
I have so few thoughts. And it's because I don't care about Zora.
Okay.
Oof.
But we used to care a lot. And that's what makes us a little sad. I used to care a lot more. Yeah.
Personally speaking, obviously we really liked Zora because it allowed us to do podcasting on chain.
Yeah.
It was simple, like great. I don't have history with Jacob. I don't know him from Nouns Builders. And I'll be honest, I don't see him post a lot.
Not anymore.
From like the whole ever.
No, he used to post a lot on Farcaster. If you go way back to early days, when we were early on, pre-OG, he did. He posted a lot, and he posted a lot of general, like more thinking things. Maybe it didn't hit your feed.
Talking about building Zora? Like not as like a build in public.
No.
Like I just mean from like a founder comms perspective. I don't see him on my feed. I don't see him talking about it. I'm not an artist tied to Zora for income. Like I'm so far removed. I think all I see are people's opinions about Zora.
Yeah.
And their emotions, right? So from a like founder comms perspective, he's letting other people control the narrative.
True. So I would agree with you on that. Early on, though, I mean, I'm going back to early, like 2022, like early days of Farcaster. He was casting a lot, and sometimes it was unrelated to Zora. It was more big thinking things that were very interesting, like things I found very interesting. It's why I was interested in Zora and what he was building and all the things. That fell off, and the Zora comms as a business has always been bad from day one, and it's never gotten fixed. So I hope that beyond just him, there is more attention to that for the sake of everyone who has put any time in there. So
there was one moment when I started using Zora more often. I think partially, I don't know if they were integrated with Farcaster kind of as base app was getting built. and it was kind of like it was very much a almost like a Instagram style, like image first. And I was like, oh, okay, that's where I'm going to put my kind of like image posts, photos and things. And I enjoyed it, but I was never attached to it. And I really didn't, for all the for all the criticism, I had nothing else. Like, I wasn't getting any information from Zora, the app, or from Jacob, a founder, about what Zora stood for or the purpose of it. So I just have no attachment.
Okay.
So
there's a lot of chatter. A lot of people have a lot of opinions. And I didn't, no word on main Zora, Twitter, Farcaster. That is not surprising. That's part of my, that's my point. Like, they've been always bad. They need a good comms person who handles that account and actually pushes out what is going on, like on a regular, 3 times a day kind of a thing, like a normal company. I liked this one too. If the pivot
just turn it into an agent. Like, you don't
they
even
really
need to,
could.
like,
just freaking put an
look
agent.
at Maynard. Like, you don't even need to,
automate it and have a person who actually, does something that's a little bit more interesting, but you could automate it very easily. If the pivot isn't working, pivot, pivotception. I mean, I think there are people who have a lot of opinions on this, and mostly because of the way Zora was integrated and got a lot of attention from base was the big issue. I never saw a post from Jacob. Zora never worked for me, even going back to early days, always broken. There was always a lot of issues. I agree with you there. I would have a lot of issues even when we were posting NFTs, but there was a lot of good things that I did like about it. So anyway, yes, they did literally have 10 pivots. Yes.
And
more, maybe more.
Look, we talk about builders, like there should be nothing wrong with pivoting. Like, you should be pivoting. I think all of the criticisms also comes from people feeling like they're not being listened to or heard.
Yeah.
Like, does it feel like disrespect for people who love the brand or use the app?
Yeah. There has been, it has felt like that. It definitely has felt like that over the years. So anyway, I don't want to dance on this too much, but I do appreciate the cast. I do appreciate that. I think it was helpful. I hope it continues. I hope it's not a one-off is what I mean. And I hope that also fix the comms at the top level so that this Zora, the actual Zora account is posting and casting on a regular basis. So those are my suggestions there. But also, if you are interested in what they're doing, the person who has been casting things on a regular basis has been W. Benz, who went from base to Zora and has been doing some really cool, interesting upgrades and things, and been working and has been building and shipping. Go follow them if this is something you're interested in. Yeah, crypto needs to fix the comms at the top level.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
Okay, there's no such thing as a top level in decentralized tech, and that's the problem.
You're not wrong. And then
and yes, we love you, W. Benz.
We do love you. We do love you. Come on sometime. We'd love to chat with you. For real. Retaliant. Sorry, this seems off track. Any idea how to get an ethos invite? I actually got one from your Berserker and I still haven't set it up. I'm just awful. I'm awful about getting that set up. So if I end up having one, once I get that set up, I'll reach out. But if anyone else has an ethos invite and wants to reach out to Retaliant on Farcaster, please do. They're looking for one. All right. We're going to be, okay. So petition to nominate GMFC to be top level comms for all of crypto. That seems like a lot.
What are you talking about? We're totally up for it.
Okay.
I second the notion in.
This is funny. Anyway. All right. Here we go. Between you two. We're not fighting. We're discussing.
I'm not a bear. I'm literally the I don't think about you meme.
Yeah, it's truly she is. She is literally Don Draper on this issue. And I have deep rooted resentments that have absolutely nothing to do with Zora itself. That have to do with whole separate things. that are nouns and nouns builder related. They're sideways to Zora. So there's a whole other story that I've been, very I don't even know what the word is, restrained in my criticism of Zora. Like, for as much as we have like mentioned a few things here and there, the amount of stuff that if you get me in person and want to have a chat, I'd say a lot more. I'll just put it that way, because I don't really want to FUD people who are building and are trying and are pivoting and things like that. But I have a lot of feelings, a lot of feelings on things.
I feel the same way about other apps.
There's many things. Yeah, there's many things. And it's like, yes. And because I really I don't want to take shots and things like that on a public channel. So, but if you get me one-on-one IRL, come to Farcon room. See you in Farcon room. And with that,
oh, maybe we should do a special event. Sell tickets to like a GM Farcaster.
Ask us what we really
off the record. A GM Farcaster off the record, and we'll tell you.
You'll have to put, those things when you go to a comedy show and they make you put the cell phones in a bag. We'll have that at the door. Like, no recording. Oh, stark naked. Has it? Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, crypto has lost its way. Kind of. But at the same time, if you look past the current prices of things and look at like what's happening with some of the innovation, there's a lot of cool stuff happening. And like, we're coming into a very different time. But if you think about like what's happening with AI agents, if you think about what's happening with stable coins, if you look at the regulatory frameworks and things that are happening there, like, we're coming into a really amazing moment in crypto, but it's just overshadowed by a lot of crap. Yeah. And that's the problem. And I was having those conversations with my normie friends all weekend of like, because if you are outside of this industry, you really only hear the negative, because that's all that gets reported. So yeah, it's tough.
And not by accident.
And not by accident. I mean, that's media in general.
Telling us, well, right. I mean, like, remember Linda was talking about how the Ethereum documentary that she produced, streaming services, and I forget which ones, but Netflix,
all of them,
Amazon Prime, all of them,
all of them.
We are not interested in any film that is about crypto unless it's about scams.
Yeah, like, unless it's negative.
What people want. Yeah, like it was so any like
wild, absolutely wild. Because it's a positive. The Ethereum film is a positive look at Vitalik's journey to build Ethereum, and it's like they don't want that. They don't want the positive. They'll only take the negative. So anyway, so it's our job to keep the positive, and that's what we do here at GM Farcaster, 3 days a week, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Today we are Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday this week. And we focus on builders and what people are building that is really cool. So we're going to keep doing that. We're just going to keep plugging along until the wheels fall off, which I'm getting tired, man, but we're going to keep going.
They're getting a little wobbly. The wheels are a little wobbly.
All right, everybody. This has been fun. You guys have been fun in the chat today. We love you. And Adrienne, anything else before we sign off for the day?
Thank you, Clanker, for your support.
Thank you, Clanker. Yes.
It's been the whole day and I haven't clanked.
There's been no clanking. No clanking today.
There. And everybody go play Word a Day.
Yeah, go do that. Go do that.
Until we get other sponsors, I am going to sponsor our show. But we are brought to you by Word a Day. It's the hottest new app on Farcaster. Go play.
Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, and also we are sponsored by Clanker. We just had a slight pause in things as things are transitioning. There's an acquisition in progress, and
has not closed. Has not closed
yet. So be gentle with the Farcaster and ANR team, if you don't mind, and Clanker team. They're doing their best.
If you're upset Rish has not done enough to pump your bags, he doesn't own Farcaster.
Yes.
He hasn't acquired Farcaster yet.
No, not really.
I don't think he's trying to pump your bags anyway.
He's really not. But more to come very soon. There are some interesting things in the works, and we're really excited that once everything closes, we'll be able to share a little bit more. So with that, everybody, we'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, maybe? Maybe? Okay. Like, I think that's our schedule this week. Sure. Okay. So we'll see you all then, our early birds. And if not, you can always find the recordings in all the places, anywhere you get your podcast. The live stream and the Twitter stream are always available right after we end the show. And then we put it out everywhere else after that with the show notes.
Do you know where else you can get all of our episodes?
Oh, of course. Where can you get those?
On our website.
What is that
our
website?
Mini app.
What is that website, Adrienne?
GMFarcaster.com.
There you go.
And the mini app, if you're in Farcaster, you just search GM Farcaster, but it's miniapp.gmfarcaster.com. But it has all of our episodes there. So, yeah, you should.
You can go there as well.
Bookmark that.
Or get the mini app. But all the things. We're in all the places. All right, everybody. With that, we've been hanging out for an hour. About 31 minutes too long. And we will see you tomorrow. Until then, everybody, bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and HyperSub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates and add our mini app on Farcaster and the base app. Until next time, bye-bye.